I would say that is the biggest gift God gave me in my life, is to become sober. It made a massive difference. I first came into sobriety when I was literally 26 years old. I was in my last year of college. I was drinking too much, I was partying, I was blowing off my responsibilities right and left. I had this professor that I knew that was sober. I was literally failing his class. I had an essay to turn in, a bunch of other stuff I needed to catch up on, and if I didn't do it, I wasn't gonna graduate. I hit a bottom. It had to do with a breakup with a girlfriend. Just my life had crashed and burned. And I knew this teacher of mine was sober, and I went to him and he said, look, and he helped me out with sobriety. He actually took me to an AA meeting and I went, and it was the first one I ever attended. He said to me, look, do this essay, do this one essay, read this book, turn this in, and I will pass you. This is such an amazing story, is I did the essay, I turned it in, and I literally that night, I went and spent the night at his house. And the next morning he took me to the AA meeting. And that was the beginning of a journey at that time to get me on the road to sobriety, to live a way better life. Flash forward a month, I pass the class, I get to graduate, I get my report card, and he gives me an A in the class. And I started crying. I called him up and thanked him. And it was just such an amazing act of generosity, like one person doing something for another. I couldn't believe it. And then it was an example of how to treat another human being, that when their chips are down, they need some form of love, they need a leg up. And emotionally, that's what I needed at that time. And so in a moment in time in my life when things were dire and horrible, and even though I had graduated college, I had lost my girlfriend, I felt my life was still out of control even though I had stopped. Just that little ray of light of hope that he gave me made such a difference. What are you going to do as an act of generosity for another human being in the next week? Comment below what you're going to do for another person. I would love to hear.